Welcome to Fett's Legacy, everyone. Were you disappointed by Saw Gerrera's appearance in last week's Andor episode? I know I personally was. We're going to be talking a bit about his character and how we could potentially see him again, and how maybe he could be reintroduced to the story. Hopefully we get to see him again, because in my opinion, so far that's been one of the most disappointing parts of the show. So far I've actually loved Andor, but Saw Gerrera was in the marketing heavily and in the trailers, and he showed up for a very brief moment in the show. We didn't actually get to even see him in action. He just talks to Luthen for a bit, kind of tells him, "I'm not working with you," and he leaves. So if you guys were also disappointed about that, then this is the video for you guys. But before we get into that, I just want to say, please like and subscribe. It really does help me out a lot, and it only takes you a quick second, but it helps me out forever. So I would really appreciate if you guys would like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell if you do. But guys, let's get right into Saw Gerrera, and personally why I think he was very underutilized in episode 8. Now guys, I know we're already on to episode 9, but I was kind of refraining from making this video, hoping that we would see him in this last episode, and there's still a chance we could see him. There are 3 episodes, if I'm correct, left, so there's still a chance we'll see Saw Gerrera, and this video could potentially be pointless. But I wanted to talk about where the story is going, and how I could see Saw Gerrera still fitting into it and coming back, potentially to work with Luthen, or maybe even Mon Mothma. Maybe he helps Andor. Let's get right into it, guys. With Saw Gerrera, personally, for what they were showing, for the characters I knew were going to be in the show, he was the one I was most excited about. In his episode, like I said, he just talks to Luthen, tells him he's not going to work with him, which, may have made a lot of fans think, wow, so he showed up and he's not going to do anything. Now, I do think, why would you go through all that trouble to even bring him in the show if that's all you're going to do with him? So what I'm kind of thinking is helping Andor escape from the prison, not because of Andor personally, but maybe he also has some people inside that prison, and we do know that Saw Gerrera, works with guerrilla tactics, and he really goes at the Empire with as much force as they go at the rebels. He kind of becomes the monster to defeat the monster. So with the latest episode of Andor, no one gets out. That is a fact. That's what happens. What happened in this previous episode, someone in the 5th block or 4th block or something was supposed to be released, and all he did was get transferred to the second floor, the 2nd block. And so I guess word got out and went around, and they fried the entire block. So they literally killed everyone just because someone found out that they're not actually releasing these prisoners. So, and this could be for a couple different reasons. I have heard some people talking about, it's because they're building things for the Death Star. Definitely a big possibility, because the Death Star is not built yet, and they do have to keep that under wraps until it is actually built. Because if word gets out that Palpatine is building the Death Star, then his entire plan could just completely go belly up, and he could lose his power. If the entire Senate found out that's what he's doing, then things would definitely change for him. So he wants to keep it under wraps, so no one actually gets out of the prison to be able to tell anyone about what they're building in there, what they're doing in there. And I do think this is the most likely explanation. I mean, they could just be building, TIE fighters, Star Destroyers. They always do need slaves to actually build these things. Usually a lot of them were prisoners that were wrongfully imprisoned and then put to work. So it could just be something as simple as building Star Destroyers. Or they don't want people getting out to talk about the PORD. And so the PORD stands for Public Order Resentencing Decree, and it happened after the Aldhani raid, which happened in episode 6, where they steal almost 80 million worth of credits from the Empire and a whole sector's payroll. And so they did this to combat anyone and kind of deter people from going against the Empire. They wanted to come in with a strong force, an iron fist. And so what they did is a lot of the prisoners got extra long sentences, and new prisoners got extra long sentences. And this is exactly what happened to Cassian Andor himself, as he was supposed to get, I think, a few months, 6 months maybe, and he ended up getting, I think, 6 years. So it's definitely really insane, and no one knows about it unless you're actually in the prison system itself. and so they may not want word getting out about that. Now, here's the thing. Eventually, word will get out somehow. Someone will tell someone. And I do think that Saw Gerrera might see this as an opportunity to not only recruit for the rebellion, as every person in this prison will now want to fight against the Empire. And after being tortured and pretty much enslaved by the Empire in this way, they may want to go really hard back at the Empire to get revenge on them, which would be perfect for Saw Gerrera's cause and who exactly he's looking for. He wants those people who are willing to do whatever is necessary, and Andor seems like one of those people, but we all do know that he ends up working with a different section later. But who knows if maybe he ends up joining Saw now. What I could definitely see happening is maybe Saw Gerrera organizes a raid on this prison and helps them all escape, recruiting tons and tons of people to the rebellion. This is kind of where I think it may go, because I feel like what wasted potential for Saw Gerrera and Forrest Whitaker, who is a fantastic actor. I feel like it would be such a shame if that's all he was brought back for. I would love to see him in action, taking on the Empire, using his guerrilla tactics. I know I've said it a lot, but that's exactly what he does. He goes really, really hard back at the Empire. He will do anything it takes, even if it ends up getting his men killed, civilians killed. He doesn't care. He will do whatever is necessary. So my prediction is, guys, that Saw Gerrera will organize a raid and he will help Andor and the rest of the inmates escape. Obviously not all of them. Many will probably die in the process, but I just don't see how they're going to do it on their own. They did say 12 guards on each level, and there are definitely more prisoners than guards, but with that floor that can instantly kill them, it seems very unlikely. So they could, take out the power and try and overpower the guards, because they don't seem to have very heavy weaponry. But I personally believe that Saw Gerrera will be involved in the prison break, maybe Luthen as well. He also seems to have some pretty crazy tactics, and we do have to kind of see where he's going to go with things, because he seems to also have some really dark tactics. Same with Saw Gerrera. They seem to be a bit similar. And even Mon Mothma is going against her values to get this rebellion started up. So who knows what they could do. I feel like a prison break, including some of these big rebellious figures, Luthen, Saw Gerrera, who knows who else could be involved. I feel like that would be really cool, maybe as a finale for the show. I'm not really sure. There are 3 episodes left. Not sure when Andor will be breaking out. For all we know, it could be next episode, and maybe Saw Gerrera will show up again. But those are just my thoughts on Saw Gerrera, one of my favorite rebels. I just was very excited to see him, and I was a bit disappointed by his appearance. Let me know what you guys think about Saw Gerrera. Do you think he will show back up in the show? Will he be involved in the prison break? Or am I reaching and he only just had a small cameo? Anyway, guys, thank you all for watching. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. Again, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. It helps me out a lot. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next time.